Hello and welcome to PPR's Xbox Division 3 race here tonight at Spain. We have yet, as I will mute my YouTube so we don't hear my voice overlap itself. But yeah, we have not had a stream yet for our Division 3. Still looking for a streamer. Luckily, I am home tonight, so we can broadcast live and direct for the race here tonight. Looks like it's going to be pretty sunshine out on the track for qualifying. We'll just wait and see which one of our drivers decide to head out and set the first lap of qualifying. See what tires they got on. Get that nice little telemetry. Get all the nice little stuff on here for you guys. And if you're joining us on this beautiful Friday night, we thank you so much for tuning in. I mean, who goes out on Fridays, right? You'd much rather be watching our Division 3 race. That is for sure. We really thank all of you guys, everyone that's been tuning in to our streams, helping us build our channel and our little league here. A nice little like on the video, subscribe if you haven't, and we'll appreciate you a ton. It looks like we got the McLaren of LDR Redeemer heading out first on track. He is on the hard compound tires. We also have Best Tayon. He is also out there in the Merc, sporting the sauce for his first run. Looking very nice from those guys. So just a little bit of a recap of our week so far for our Spain races. Monday, our PC Division 1 race was a complete monsoon of a race. It was wet the entire race, and a lot of our drivers there just struggling to keep it on track and keep it going. But come Tuesday for our Xbox Division 2 race and Division 1, both thrillers. The Division 1 race by far our best race so far of this short season that we've had, only 5 rounds in. That was quite the race. And same goes for PC Division 2, which was on Wednesday. Those boys did their thing as well. But here we go with LDR Redeemer about to set off and set the first lap here tonight here in Spain. He activates DRS and just flies down into turn number 1. Look at that, he's gone purple. Who would have thought he would go purple on hards? That's also because he's the only guy who's setting the time right now. Or I should say, the first. But so far, so clean here by Redeemer. I'm going to keep it on. Ooh, he really backs off on a thaw right there. You want to lift off just a little bit through that sweeping right-hander down into the second DRS zone. That might have been a little too much for Redeemer, but this is probably just a banker lap for him. So not too much to worry about on those hards. I don't think this is going to be the tire he's going to want to start on. Preferably the mediums is what you're going to want to go with. Just that way you make sure you stay in the top 10. But who knows? Maybe Redeemer does more laps on these tires. But that's a 122.1 across the line as Crank Sr. goes with a 120.8. And big Mr. Brown almost completely matching the Alfa Romeo of Crank Sr.'s time. What a lap, as Sprightly looks to have found the dirt. There goes Dart Ghost, the 120.3 on the mediums. And next up we have the Racing Point of Vexing Track with a 1:19.6. Solid lap time by him. But it looks like Sprightly is definitely off. That is actually not Sprightly. That is TV9 Magic. Yep. Off in the toothpaste car. Very unfortunate for him. But there goes Vexing Track with a 1:19.6. A 1-2 for the racing points at the moment. Looks like Sprightly diving back into the pits here. Oh, and there is the Alfa Romeo of Crank Sr., who's just sitting on the track and completely throws off his teammate of Father Corn. That is really unfortunate for Father Corn right there, as he's definitely going to have to bring that back in the pits. Those tires probably destroyed by the gravel pit. It looks like LDR Redeemer is already a second. Cut a whole second out of his time. I take that back. Timing screens or just lying to me. Everyone looks to be diving the pit. We'll stay on board here as Big Mr. Brown starts mowing the grass so he can stay out of PV9 Magic's way. Magic going pretty slow on this time. I think it might be the slowest set time so far of the session. It is. That's a 1:23.8 on the hards. Also looks like he's just trying to set a few laps on those hards, so not too bad for him. But here comes Bestayon out once more in the Merc with the mediums on. It looks like he opted not to set a time on the softs that he came out with originally. So we will see what he can do. He's not really fully trusting the car right now. Really hesitant on the throttle. Just missing the apex just a little bit right there. Definitely a lot of time to improve, and still not even halfway through qualifying. Still definitely have another chance to set another time if he wants to. But getting a good exit there and into sector 3. Hopping the curb and taking it fairly slow through here. And luckily for Payon, that is not an invalidation. Does well to set his time. That'll be a 1:21.2. Definitely time for improvement there, but here comes Deluxe Cord and the fake energy drink Haas. It looks like he already invalidated. This is bad for him. Father Corn, for some reason, is putting on intermediate tires. He's probably crying for his teammate, and that is why his engineers have opted to put on some intermediates for him. Jules is out on his outlap, as well as Sprightly. Dark Ghost going very slow. Looks like PV9 Magic still on those hards, setting more times. He's now done 3 laps in total. There's a luck cord. Looks like he's might try to set another lap here. We'll wait and see. Is Father Corn really coming out on intermediates? Father Corn has left the pits on intermediate tires. This is a first. I've never seen this. Since I have been commentating the past almost year now, I've yet to see anyone hop on intermediate tires to set a lap. I really hope the game is glitching. Doesn't look like the game's glitching at all, as Deluxe Cord completely bottled it. Looks like he was trying to stop his car and hand off his tires to follow the corn there. That is interesting strategy there, as we'll take it on board now with Sprightly. We've got a few turns left here. That is very unfortunate for Deluxe Court. He will start at the back of the grid tonight. But running down across the line comes Sprightly, and that is P6 with a 120.8 for the Merc. We'll stick on board now here with Funky Cactus, who's already gone purple through Sector 1. See if he can keep improving on his time. And the beautiful Pink Panther definitely got away with a slight corner cut right there. Looks like Jules is going very slow. And looks like he may have dived down into the pits. We'll see if Funky Cactus can get P1. He does with a 118.6. That is a second faster than his teammate of Vexing Track. Well done by Funky. Jules is actually still out on track in a disgusting yellow helmet. Looks like a 3-year-old child ate a Crayola and then accidentally spit it back out. And that is how you get Jules' helmet. Redeemer also starting another lap, not getting the best exit there. We are now just 6 minutes remaining in qualifying, and the racing points sit P1 and P2 with Dark Coast in third right now. But Funky Cactus time is going to be very hard to beat. We'll see if his teammate of Vexing Track has anything to say about it, or maybe even Redeemer. But Redeemer on the mediums, I don't think this will be a time we'll be able to beat. However, he can definitely improve. As I say that, almost running into the gravel, but he is 1.2 up right now on his lap. That would set him in about 4th place, besting his teammate of Big Mr. Brown. Just has to be careful, get a good exit, which he does. Beautifully done there by Redeemer, and he will cross the line with a 119.3. That's going to put him in P2. Very well done there by Redeemer. And on the mediums, see if he opts to do another lap. He does have time if he comes back into the pits and goes right back out. But here is Orange Crush. Taking a lot of curb on the outside and hugging the curb right there, losing a little bit of the car and braking way too late. Luckily, looks like he's just going to start again on this lap, as Sector 3 was looking very hard for him. We'll go on board here. Father Corn on his outlap. Looks like Dark Ghost is still on the mediums. It says he's done 4 laps on the mediums. However, I hope that is not true, because if so, those are going to be pretty worn come race time. And that is not what the Red Bull driver wants, and I bet you it is not what Christian Horner wants back in the pit box. He'll be yelling at one of his engineers if they don't let that Red Bull set a time on a different set of tires. But With only 3.5 minutes left remaining, he's definitely going to want to shoot it in the pits and get there as quick as possible. We'll take it back down to Orange Crush. See if he can get a hang of Sector 3 here on his lap, as he decides to become a lawnmower with his front 2 tires, edging up a little bit of the grass there. Just really struggling right now. Orange Crush is through Sector 3, and looks like he's about to run out of fuel as he crosses the line in 5th with a 120.5 on the mediums. And now here we are with Father Corn, as we just have 2.5 minutes remaining. Any of our drivers that want to set another time definitely want to be exiting their pit boxes right now or within the next 15 to 20 seconds. Father Corn looking very pacey right now. See what he can cross the line with on those mediums. And that is 4th place for Father Corn. Well done by the Alfa Romeo driver. That's a 119.6 for him. Orange Crush just on his in-lap vexing track. Flying right now on the softs. He has improved by at least half a second to get P2 and a whole second to get P1 from his teammate of Funky Cactus, who is sitting right behind him on this lap. If you want to look at good helmets, Jules, if you watch this back, look at Vexing Track's helmet. That is what I call a beautiful helmet, as he gets out of the final turn and will cross the line in P2 with a 118.7. And Funky Cactus looks like he's going to try to set another time. Don't think Redeemer is going to be doing anything on those mediums. Yeah, he's definitely coming into the pits. We'll take it on down here to Dark Ghost. He is cutting it very close, but it looks like he will make it across the line and be our final driver to start a lap. We still have PV9 Magic as well, who is a second up through Sector 2, making that 2-space car look like a Mercedes. Getting a beautiful exit. Completely hugging the curb. Hopefully that didn't invalidate his lap. It doesn't look like it did. It's a very easy spot in qualifying to invalidate. But so far, so good. PV9 up almost 2.5 seconds. Doing very well on his lap. See where this places him. I mean, that is purple through Sector 2. Could he split the pair of the racing points here? We will see very shortly. As across the line, it's going to be a 118.7. He cannot split the racing points, but he comes very close to doing so. That is P3 and on the mediums nonetheless. So well done there by PV9 Magic. As now we just wait for Dark Ghost to set the final time of the session. And that's going to be P4 with a 119.0. So nicely done there by Dark Ghost. As unfortunately, I believe that was Redeemer who lost 2 spots from the last 2 drivers, as he was sitting P3 But quite the mix of tire strategies, as we have 4 drivers in the top 10 on softs and 6 starting on the mediums. But it has to be said that PV9 Magic sitting there on the mediums with an 18.7 might be the driver to watch tonight if he can keep it clean and make his strategy work, because those softs will wear very quickly here in Spain. But who knows, maybe multiple safety cars will switch the whole grid up, and maybe Deluxe Cord starting from the back with Jules as well might have something to say. So this is looking to be quite the race tonight. I'm very excited. I hope all of you watching are as well. And while we wait for all of our drivers to load in, get all their setups ready and all that good stuff before the formation lap, I will go ahead and take a quick minute break, and I'll be right back for you before the start of our race. Once again, this is PPR Nick, and thank all of you guys for joining us tonight and watching the stream. Hope there's going to be some great action here on track. All right, and we are back. Very excited for this race. I know I say it every race, but I just love the action that our drivers give to us on track on a week in and week out basis. Got a great bunch of lads here. A great group of drivers in all of our divisions. As we are now just halfway through the formation lap until everyone gets in their grid boxes and we can get this race going. And here they come, patiently waiting for the start of this race. For those 5 red lights to turn on and go off. It is a beautiful Friday night here for racing, and quite possibly a 1-2 finish for our Racing Point drivers. Let's hopefully we can get a good camera angle here. We already have a yellow in sector 3 for some reason. There we go. 5 red lights. They are out, and it is the start of PPR Division 3 here in Spain. Jules getting a horrible start off the back of the grid. The Racing Points taking it side by side through turn 1, and that's going to be Vexing Track into P1. Got the McLaren of Redeemer getting a slight touch. That looks like he is off, and his teammate as well. It is a horrible start for the McLarens as they are now going to drop to the back of the grid, and unfortunately, Taeon was taken out by Big Mr. Brown. In no way am I saying he did that on purpose. That was something the stewards will look at for themselves, but that's unfortunate for the Mercedes and McLaren drivers. Looks like Crank Sr. as well has gone off. Taeon going very slow. The Racing Points are off. 1-2 for them. Nothing's changed besides vexing, just completely ignoring his teammate through turn 1 and saying this lead is mine. Orange Crush and Jules going at it here very early. Sprightly right behind them in the Mercedes. Very close action by those guys. As Orange Crush goes really deep, this might give Jules a chance for an overtake. As they go side by side, Jules completely ignores the corner. That's one way to get an overtake done. As Orange Crush is going very wide now, Sprightly down the inside of him. But then we take it back on top. Looks like PV9 Magic trying to make a move here on Dark Ghost. As we completely destroy the camera angles and nauseate all of our viewers. Dark Ghost goes off just slightly, and that'll be him into P4. We take it back on down. It looks like Redeemer has now gotten around Orange Crush. His teammate Big Mr. Brown is really struggling right now in the back of the grid. As Taeyon is now in the pits for a front wing and on the hards. But the racing points are taking off at the front of the grid. Tire strategy is definitely be interesting. These guys keep it 1-2 to see who pits first. But Deluxe Cord, has to be said, starting in 12th, he's already made up 7 spots in 5th place. He is flying right now and on the mediums as well. So that first stint, he's going to be able to make that stretch out, barring any safety cars or even a possible wreck. And it looks like Redeemer, once again, has gone off. He's dropped down into P11. But Vexing Track, now a 2.5 from his teammate. PV9 Magic is flying. Deluxe Cord setting the fastest lap of the race, and DRS is enabled. Quite a lot going on very early in this race. As Deluxe Cord is creeping in on Dark Ghost. Looks like we have a tangle back here with Big Mr. Brown and Orange Crush, and there is Redeemer as well. The Red Bull is getting completely jumped right now by the McLaren team. See how this pans out for these guys. Looks like Orange Crush going a little bit wide right there. Unfortunately, Cody's the one to give us good camera angles. Redeemer looking at a dive. Orange Crush, as we've seen him do multiple times tonight, just missing his braking points slightly and out-braking himself. That is going to be both McLarens now into the points. Let's take it on board here with Deluxe Cord. Is using that benefit of DRS right there and Slipstream to make a dive down the inside of Dark Ghost. Dark Ghost barely leaving enough room, but that is all he has to do is leave a car's width and nothing less, and he did, making it very hard for Deluxe Cord. These guys are getting very close, but so far so clean from them, and that's what you like to see. Tight but clean racing as Dark Ghost defends and hops back onto the racing line. Oh, but it looks like Deluxe Cord might take advantage of this. I mean, he's going to be flying. All he needs to do is get a good exit. That's DRS again. He might be able to get the overtake here into turn number 10. Opts to go on the outside and cannot get it done. Not much overtaking opportunities here in Sector 3 other than turn 10, which starts it. So he's going to have to set up his exit here and go for another chance at turn 1. It looks like PV9 Magic now is right behind Funky Cactus, sticking his front wing nicely onto that gearbox. Funky Cactus will not defend and just basically gives up the place. As Deluxe Cord is yet to get past Dark Ghost. Dark Ghost defending for his life right now as Crank Sr. picks up a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. But here comes Deluxe Cord once again. Dark Ghost. Ooh, that may have been moving under braking there. That was very close. But Deluxe Cord nonetheless getting the move done. But all this has allowed Father Corn as well to pick up some time. Dark Ghost nearly sending it into the gravel. Gotta watch out for that. You will find yourself in the Shadow Realm very quickly. As PV9 Magic has now set the fastest lap of the race. Those mediums are really starting to fall into place for him as the sauce begin to wear off. Dark Ghost now having to defend from Father Corn. Pretty easily done there. Corn didn't have enough room to really stick his nose in at all. We now have a yellow in Sector 3, and it is none other than Jules. Wouldn't expect anything less from him, and that is a VSC for Jules, completely binning it. Let's see if we can pick him up here during the VSC. Yep, looks like he did bin it as his car now disappears. Drivers have to be very careful not to speed under the VSC, but also not to slow up too much because you will lose quite a bit of time if you do. Just got to stay within that delta that the race director gives you. And Jules will now drop all the way down to 13th. That's a DNF in his long history of DNFs. But DRS enabled, VSC is over, and PV9 Magic will be in first place. This lap is Vexing decides to hop in the track, hop in the pits, and so does his teammate of Funky Cactus. They're gonna double stack. I don't see this benefiting any of them whatsoever. Or I should say not benefiting Funky Cactus whatsoever. They now take it on board with Dark Ghost. Fortunately for Funky Cactus, he's gonna lose quite a lot of time. That was not executed very well there from the Racing Point team. I might have to talk about that after the race. But Dark Ghost is the only remaining soft tire runner out there, and you can definitely see those tires are starting to wear. He's having a little bit of grip issues right here, but doing fairly well to keep behind the Alfa Romeo of Father Corn. Crank Sr. once again has hopped in the pits and received another 5-second time penalty for doing so. That is unfortunate for him as PV9 Magic sets another fastest lap of the race. Things are really falling into place there for him. But then there goes Deluxe Cord, who's right behind him and chasing first place, but off goes big Mr. Brown. Just completely bending it. Looks like he kept his front wing, so nicely done by him. As Vexing Track gets into a little bit of contact there with Redeemer as he was exiting the pits. Redeemer might have a word or two to share with him. But it already looks like those fresher tires are kicking Redeemer's booty. as he's already fallen back 1 second to the racing point of Vexing Track. We'll now take it down to Funky Cactus. He's looking to make a move here on Dark Ghost. Going purple right now through Sector 2. And definitely see those fresher tires doing their thing. But the one thing for the Racing Point drivers is they're definitely going to have to stop one more time tonight. And I don't see them making these mediums last the whole entirety of their second stint till the end of the race. But here goes Funky Cactus, Dark Ghost defending the middle of the track, and nowhere really for Funky Cactus to go. And off is Sprightly. He's been having a rough night. That's promote both the Dark Ghost and Funky Cactus into 6th and 7th respectively, as Funky is looking for a way to get around Dark Ghost. But Dark Ghost already showed us with his battle with the Lux Cord that he is not an easy driver to overtake, and he will not give away his position easily. So he's going to do everything in his power to maintain 6th place, keep Funky Cactus just breathing in all that dirty air. See if Funky Cactus can get a good exit out right here. Oh, he does. Dark Ghost really struggling through the final 2 turns, or corners I should say. And leaving literally only a car's width. Funky Cactus, I think, did not think he was going to leave it for him. And Dark Ghost now shooting it back down the inside. They're going side by side, making contact. These guys getting really close. A little too close for comfort there. I don't think Funky Cactus thought Dark Ghost was going to leave him enough space. It looked like he did. And that's what caused him to tangle just a little bit through turn 1 as Dark Ghost opted to back out and just send it. Braking very early. That was nicely done by Dark Ghost, just after making a touch there out of turn 3. Falls back and now sits in 7th place, but I expect him to catch up. As I say that, he catches all the gravel in the world. But all this battling is definitely hurting Funky Cactus, because after qualifying a P2, or P1 I should say, was definitely looking to be up there in the top 3. This will definitely hurt his time for the duration of the race. So for him, he wants to build a gap, and for Dark Ghost, wants to catch up as quick as possible. And, I mean, I don't know what better analysis you need than that. One guy wants to go fast, and the other guy wants to go fast as well. Ultimate 1,000-point IQ strats brought to you by PPR Nick. That's Funky Cactus. Nearly shoots it in the grass there. Dark Ghost saying he went purple through sector 1. But he's just not been able to keep it on track these past 2 laps. He's just really struggling right now on his mediums. It looks like the Alfa Romeo of Crank Sr. is going to get out the way here. Blue flag, blue flag. And Dark Ghost once again getting a little squirmy, and now falling nearly 2 seconds back to Funky Cactus. That is really going to hurt him here, as we'll now take it on board with the Lux Cord. who's slowly been catching PV9 Magic, who sits in first place. We see Best Taeon getting out the way as well. Another blue flag driver. He has not had the best race tonight. Unfortunate for him, he got caught up in that turn 1 incident. But he is still going out there strong. It looks like Crank Sr. has retired as well. And that brings out a safety car. See if we can pick up Crank real quick. I believe Orange Crush might be able to see where he threw it off. Looks like he got off in turn 1, but his car has already disappeared, so we'll not be able to pick him up. That's unfortunate for Crank. He was also having a tough night as well. PV9 Magic drive-through penalty for speeding under safety car, and he's quite possibly ruined his first place here, as Funky Cactus has left the session. We'll do him a little bit of a favor and send him an invite. As unfortunately the game will not let me, so hopefully he is able to join back here in the race. But looks like Deluxe scored. This safety car came out at the perfect time. Dark Ghost also has a speeding under the safety car penalty as well. He'll have to serve a drive-through. Redeemer coming into the pits, as well as Taeon. Be interested to see if Taeon will be able to unlap himself under the safety car, or if he had already done so. That could definitely save his race. Unfortunately, PV9 Magic has that penalty, so he'll have to serve it after the safety car or face a possible disqualification, as I believe you cannot just have that added on to your time at the end of the race. You do have to serve that in the pits. Deluxe score now sitting very well in P3. Vexing Track still has to pit. PV9 Magic as well. It looks like PV9 has overtaken the safety car. And luckily we do not get a safety car glitch. And the safety car smartly overtakes the Williams. Who would have thought? Oh, here goes PV9 Magic diving into the pits. Vexing Track getting a 5-second penalty for exceeding track limits. I don't know why, but he is also diving down into the pits as well. So that now promotes Deluxe Cord into P1. Funky Cactus into P2. Sprightly, for some reason, is, well, if I've ever seen a horrible safety car restart, this is by far the worst I have ever seen so far. A lot of confused drivers. A safety car that's trying to race the cars out on track. Sprightly is now going to unlap himself. Looks like Funky Cactus is, yeah, he is still disconnected. It looks like Sprightly has been disqualified for ignoring yellow flags. It looks like he is fine on track. His teammate of Taeon doesn't look like he's going to be able to unlap himself. This has been a mess of a safety car. And probably a mess of commentating as well, because I'm just getting really confused with what's going on with the safety car right now. Hopefully we can get this all sorted out and the racing back on. As it looks like Jules was actually trying to bring out his safety car when he retired. In Jules fashion. But in the meantime, as we let everything get back to normal. Deluxe Cord sitting very well in first place, followed by Funky Cactus in second. Father Corn as well, looking very well right now. Not going to have to make another stop. He is done for the day stop-wise, as long as he doesn't pick up any damage or anything crazy like that. So for the most part, it looks like only driver that's definitely going to have to pit again will be Funky Cactus. He's staying out there on the mediums. Unfortunately for him, he is out of the session right now, so even if he does rejoin, his race has already been compromised since his AI decided not to pit under the safety car, which I presume will come back in this lap. I don't see any reason for it staying out. But unfortunately for Taeyeon, he is in a horrible spot right now. Unable to unlap himself under the safety car. His teammate Sprightly was, as we see him now fluttering away in the back. But yeah, unfortunately for Taeyeon, he's going to be getting blue flags like crazy. And he's going to have to drop, almost really let the whole field behind him pass him this game, unless he can build out a crazy gap on Father Corn and not get those blue flag warnings. But then at the same time, he'll be stuck with the leaders in front of him. So that's going to be hard for Taeyeon, as PB9 Magic has received a 5-second time penalty. And there we go. Safety car is in this lap. It will be back to racing and normality as well, as more safety car madness. Sprightly has gotten a 10-second time penalty. Lots of things going horribly wrong on the safety car restart. Dark Ghost jumping Redeemer for a spot. Father Corn nearly hitting Funky Cactus. This has been madness. Absolute madness. But here goes the Lux Cord. It looks like he's going to start everything back up as we see him flying. And the safety car is in. We are back to racing. As it says, Funky Cactus is disconnected, but he's looking very nice on the straight right there. Looks like Dark Ghost is going to shoot it around Father Corn. And he gets a great exit out of turn 2. I don't know where that grip came from, but that was beautiful. And now Redeemer is going to look at the back of Father Corn as well, potentially seeking out an overtake of himself. It looks like Orange Crush and Big Mr. Brown going at it once again here. Orange Crush looking to get the best of him. PB9 Magic throwing himself into the battle. Deluxe Cord already a second and a half up in first. Looks like he might run away with this as our midfield begins to fight with one another. And that is Father Corn around the outside of Dark Ghost. That will be Dark Ghost into P3 now. Father Corn still sitting right behind the Red Bull driver. Redeemer nearly losing it as he is glitching across the track. The Disconnect King himself doing what he knows best. Oh, and Father Corn is going to catch a lot of gravel and lose a lot of time right there. Redeemer is going to promote himself. And now here comes Dark Ghost on Funky Cactus. Funky defending on the inside, and the place is lost. Does Dark Ghost now into P2. And quite the midfield battle we have right here. It looks like Funky Cactus AI is really slowing down people. Kind of parking it on the apex. Looks like Redeemer's struggling a lot right now to get past it, as that is quite the aggressive AI. As it's got the X, it makes me think it's the AI, but it's not racing like one. Redeemer down the inside. Looks like that is going to be P3 for himself, and it will be. It is now Father Corn's turn at the racing point, as the other racing point of Vexing Track is right behind him as well, so he's going to want to get this move done. And Orange Crush, during all this battling as well, has brought himself into the battle, but DRS enabled. Dart Ghost into the pits. Don't necessarily know why, unless he had an unserved penalty. Here comes Vexing Track on the inside of the Alfa Romeo driver, Father Corn. And he makes contact with his teammate of Funky Cactus. The AI just kind of parking it right there. So that will still be P5 for Vexing, but now here comes Orange Crush. Very slowly making his way up and even looking at the inside of Vexing Track. Unfortunately for Orange, he's on the mediums. See if he can make those last till the end of the race. But there goes Father Corn now. Finally getting a move done on Funky. That'll be P3 for him, but he's already lost 2.5 seconds now to LDR Redeemer, who he was just sitting behind before he had passed Funky Cactus. See if Vexing Track can make the move quick, or will he lose time as well, as PV9 Magic has retired from the session. Looks like Vexing's going to have a little bit of an easier time around. It looks like Orange Crush as well is going to make his move. And that is P4 and 5 respectively for Vexing Track and Orange Crush. And off goes the AI of Funky Cactus. But now P3 through P5, all very close and tight here. The Lux Cord is flying 5.5 seconds abreast from the McLaren of Redeemer. So this is definitely looking like the battle for the last podium spot right now, unless we see another safety car out. I'll be very surprised if Orange Crush makes these mediums last till the end, but never say never, as once again he is out braking himself and losing quite a bit of time here in Sector 3. He's looked to struggle with Sector 3 all night. That is unfortunate for him, as he definitely has a chance at a podium. But Deluxe scored a 1:22.1 for the fastest point of the race. Vexing Track, DRS enabled. Father Corn defending on the inside. See if he can make anything do here. Doesn't look like he'll be able to, as he just backs out of it and stays right behind the Alfa Romeo driver of Father Corn. So far, nothing going for the Racing Point driver of Vexing. This will be looking to set up his move here in Sector 3 and get a good exit out to start lap 21 of Father Corn. Giving a little fist bump there to the cone on the inside of the track. Deluxe Sport once again setting another fastest lap of the race. Orange Crush as well, still very close to these guys. Vexing now within 0.4 of a second with DRS. He's gaining a lot of time. Slipstream as well. Father Corn opting not to defend the inside line, and looks like he just freely gave away that space and that spot to Vexing Track. He's now lost out on his podium finish. Still has 12 laps to get back at Vexing. Not if Orange Crush has anything to say about it. Orange looking to overtake the Alfa Romeo driver himself as well. And he shoots it down the inside and makes the move stick. Father Korn is now dropped 2 spots in less than half a lap. See if he has anything to go back at with the Red Bull of Orange Crush. Doesn't look like he's gonna have anything doing here, as Orange Crush also has DRS since he's within 1 second of the car in front. That is vexing. We are now on lap number 22 of 33. And Father Korn is looking to regain this spot he just lost on Orange Crush. He's diving it down the inside. Orange Crush as well not defending the inside line, but looks like he will lose this spot. That is unfortunate for him, but Father Korn going very wide, and as quickly as he regained P4, he lost it. And then there goes Orange Crush going wide. And then back down the inside of Father Korn. Taking nice kind of go-karting lines through these. And that is Orange Crush back into P4 and Father Korn back down to P5. These guys are having a great battle. It looks like Father Korn is going to take it back down the inside through turn 10. Giving Orange Crush a nice little squeeze and elbows out. That is P4 now back to the Alfa Romeo driver of Father Korn. But Orange Crush now looks like he's really getting it down there in Sector 3. Only took him 23 laps to do so. But he does get a poor exit right here. Doesn't look like he's able to make an overtake happen. But with the benefit of DRS, he'll be able to stay within a nice little gap right here. Father Korn defending the inside. Maybe slightly too hard. Orange Crush doesn't have enough though to make it stick on the outside and go side by side with Father Korn. So he will still be sitting in 5th place. This is really the only battle we have on track, but it is quite the close one. These drivers have now just let Vexing Track take it away in 3rd place. They're sitting 3.5 seconds back from the Racing Point driver, who at one point in the race was sitting P1. But he's looking to hunt down LDR Redeemer for P2 as the Lux Cord puts his Haas in autopilot. And looks like he might take away 1st place and the race win. And we now just have 10 laps remaining here in Spain. Once again, thank you to everyone that has joined tonight and decided to use part of their Friday night to watch our drivers do what they love to do here at PPR, and that is to race these beautiful F1 cars. But Orange Crush is falling slightly back now to Father Korn. His mediums might be falling apart. But Vexing Track now, as we lose one battle, we head to the next. Vexing Track has been catching LDR Redeemer every lap. The Redeemer's going to have to fight hard to keep 2nd place here. But it does have to be said for our remaining 10 drivers, they will all be receiving points tonight unless they DNF and do not finish 90% of the race, which I believe, if I have quick maps, that is lap number 30, 29, 28. One of those will be 90% of the race done. I dropped out of college because I can't math right. But here comes Vexing Track, still under a second from a Redeemer, and cutting that very close. As unfortunate for Orange Crush, he now picked up a 3-second time penalty. But with Big Mr. Brown behind him, who I believe also has a time penalty, that shouldn't hurt him too much. As he is still sitting in 5th place and looking like he's going to try to make those mediums last till the end. Vexing catching a lot of curb on entry and exit there. As Sprightly as well has picked up a 3-second time penalty, as he's just adding to what has been a rough day for Mercedes. The only thing that could make it worse is if we were in Germany and it was raining and your entire race weekend was being broadcasted by Netflix to put on Drive to Survive. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, well, shame on you for not watching the German Grand Prix from last season. But here comes Vexing. He's breaking down that gap. He's going to shoot it on the outside here of the McLaren of Redeemer. Doesn't look like he has enough room yet to make a move, but he's definitely letting that McLaren driver know that he is here to take away his 2nd place finish. And it looks like Orange Crush as well is starting to cut back down on the gap between him and Father Corn. Maybe looking to go at another round of battles here with Father Corn. We'll take it back down here to Vexing Track. Oh, but Redeemer catching a lot of gravel there. That's going to lose him some time. Looks like he may be folding under pressure. That is something that Vexing Track will definitely love to see. Just trying to apply that pressure and waiting for Redeemer to make a mistake, or for himself to get enough of a gap to take a nice little dive bomb into turn 1. See if he can make the move stick this lap. But he's about half a second back. I don't think he's going to have enough unless he completely Max Verstappens it. Redeemer once again defending the inside. Pushing the elbows out, cutting off Vexing Track. Nicely done there by Redeemer. Some hard but clean defending, as it looks like Father Corn and Orange Crush are going at it again, but Orange Crush not able to make a move. Father Corn is definitely struggling right now, which I thought I'd be saying about Orange Crush, who's 14 laps in on those mediums, but you can't even tell the way he's catching Father Corn right now. And looking to regain his once lost and cherished 4th place. That doesn't look like he has enough room here going into turn 10. But he's definitely looking a lot better in Sector 3 than he did earlier in the race. And that's really probably been the difference the last few laps for him, and why he's been able to break back in to this battle with Corn, is he's really gotten that final sector down. As we go back on board here with Vexing Track. Looking at the inside of Redeemer, completely shoots it, and that's a beautiful move done by Vexing Track. Timed that perfectly, and that's now putting Redeemer into P3. Let's see if the McLaren driver has anything to say back here, as he was just hunted down by the Pink Panther. not getting the best exit he would have liked. Still going to take a peek, but definitely not enough space right there. I'll have to park it into third right now. Oh, is very fortunate for Redeemer, as he could have completely sent himself into the Shadow Realm out on Space X and on planet Mars, as he is now completely bottled his chances at second place. We'll see if he can catch back up to Vexing Track. Looks like Orange Crush as well is starting to fall back from Father Corn. So as they do that, we'll just show our race leader some love real quick. Deluxe Cord has done a fantastic job starting from 12th. Safety car benefiting him during his pit strategy, put on the hards, found himself in first, and has not looked back after. So great job so far from Deluxe Cord, who is looking to be our race winner, barring any crazy time penalties or incidents, or maybe even another safety car. But Orange Crush still looking down his front wing through his halo at the Alfa Romeo of Father Corn. I believe I've said Alfa Romeo at least 40 times tonight, just in case you forgot what car Father Corn was racing in tonight. It is a Alfa Romeo. Oh, but that is a 3-second time penalty for Vexing Track, and that could be big for Redeemer at the end of the race, as I don't believe Redeemer has any sort of time penalty so far. So even if he can't make the move back on Vexing Track, he keeps within 3 seconds, which he's looking to be doing a terrible job at right now. He could regain second place after penalties. We have to wait and see. As Father Corn, no! Father Corn. That's a big F in the chat, as he decided he did not need any one of his end plates or really any bit of his wing, as he's going to fall down very far. And that now puts Orange Crush into fourth place. And Father Corn now is just a sitting duck. And there goes Redeemer with a 3-second time penalty. So any chance of overtaking Vexing Track after the race with penalties does not look like that will happen. And unfortunately for Father Corn, he's probably going to have to dive into the pits. I don't know if he's going to be able to make this car last till the end of the race with as much damage as he has on his front wing. But luckily for him, if he does pit, he'll only lose one spot to Dark Ghost, who is already right behind him. But Father Corn tries to make a little bit of a battle out of it. He can't enter the pits. That, I don't have any words for that. I understand Father Corn had to get into the pits, but trying to shove the other driver in with you is not the way to do it. But he's probably just frustrated for binning it at the end of this race, which I feel his pain. I've been it myself quite often, so. But luckily, he'll learn from that if he ever finds himself in that position again at Spain, and just slow down, let the driver in front of you pass, and then get in the pits. He's already going to lose a spot, so. But we'll let the stewards decide if there is a stewards report for that incident post-race. But nonetheless, looks like Deluxe Cord, we just have under 2 laps remaining in this race, will be our race winner, barring, as I said earlier, any crazy time penalties. I believe he may have one, but other than that, he will be fine, as my lack of sleep throughout the week is starting to affect me and my speech. And Vexing Track doing a good job for the Racing Point team tonight as he'll take away what looks to be P2, barring once again any crazy time penalties or an incident. And Redeemer has done a good job as well. Qualified, I believe, 5th place and has found himself on the podium. As we'll take it down here to Orange Crush, who's now 19 laps in on the mediums. Is going to have to do one more lap on him and pray to Jeff that they don't pop. You can see those things are completely worn. But luckily for Orange Crush, the next car behind him is Big Mr. Brown, who has multiple time penalties and is 10 seconds back, so Orange Crush can definitely cruise it. Unless he is trying to keep a gap on Redeemer and hoping that he has enough time penalties to maybe even promote himself onto the podium. That would definitely be a long shot. Here we are, lap 33-33. Sticking it on board here with the Lux Cord. And hopefully he watches this one back. He can enjoy a little bit of this last lap. As Father Corn sets the fastest lap of the race with a 120 point whatever that was, as I missed the final 3 digits. A nice job there by Father Corn, stealing Deluxe Cord's solo point for fastest lap. But I think Deluxe will be fine as he's going to pick up 25 for this race win. So that is P1 for Deluxe Cord. And rounding off the final turn is Vexing Track in P2. Here comes LDR Redeemer in P3. Not very closely followed by the Red Bull of Orange Crush, who gave us some fantastic battles with Father Corn tonight. Unfortunately for Corn, he did Bennett just a few laps ago. That's P4 for him. And here comes Redeemer's teammate of Big Mr. Brown in P5. And being given a 5-second time penalty for an unserved penalty. Oh, and there goes Dart Ghost. Father Corn into P6. So maybe the little RG Bargy into the pits helped him out, because he will go in at P6. P7 for Dart Ghost, the AI of Funky Cactus. Unfortunately, it looked like he had a podium in sight tonight, but because of his disconnect, will be P8. And here comes the final 2 drivers, Sprightly and Best Taeon, rounding out in 9th and 10th. What a race from these guys. Hats off to everyone that finished and for just being able to make the race tonight. You guys are all legends in my book. As we'll get some of our drivers here, our podium finishers, and for some race interviews, and see what their thoughts are on the race. Once again, hats off to Deluxe Cord for the win, as I believe he's already picked up multiple wins so far this season. But let's get him in here for an interview. That way I can take myself to bed. As we are now joined by Deluxe Cord. And wait for Vexing Track and Redeemer to join so we can start our driver interviews. Alright, so as we wait for, there's Vexing, sweet. Alright, so start off with you, Deluxe. P12, you made it look easy. Nearly, actually, we won't even say Jules race tonight, so I'm going to give you a last to first. How did it feel? Looked like you the safety car really helped you out mid race.
Yeah, I did. I was just trying to pray that I didn't spin again, and I didn't, which was good. And I was just trying to make sure I didn't run into anyone and run my own race at this point, at the end of the race.
Yeah, man, kept it clean and kind of looked like you're just cruising out there in first place. So congrats on the win. Vexing, that's P2. Unfortunately, your teammate, the Funky Cactus, disconnected. You guys were looking like you'd have a good points finish today, but nonetheless, podium for Racing Point. How's it feel? Yeah, man. Yeah, look, it was fun to watch. And congrats to you. And we'll take it down here to Redeemer, who finished in P3. Um, how's it feel, man? Yeah, man, and congrats to all three of you guys on the podium. I'm gonna go ahead and take myself to bed and cut the stream for the night. And hopefully, I might be able to see you guys next week, and we get another stream going for you guys. Yeah, no problem, guys. See you next week.